So as the Texas Longhorns get a big win against TCU this weekend to keep their season alive and keep the college football playoff dreams right in front of them, today we need to talk about another massive win that Texas got this weekend, this time on the recruiting trail for one of the best players in the class of 2024, regardless of position. As Steve Sarkisian and the Texas Longhorns were able to go into the state of Louisiana, not only get a big-time win, but get a big-time win while flipping him from the Florida Gators. And of course, today we're talking about Steve Sarkisian and the Texas Longhorns going and flipping four-star cornerback Wardell Mack. Before we can jump into all of this, y'all know the drill. I have got to hear from you. Hop down to the comments. Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Are you excited that Mack joins the Texas Longhorns class? Let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification as I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed the content, be sure to like and comment down below. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. First and foremost, who is Wardell Mack? Well, he's one of the most gifted players in the nation, regardless of position. And in fact, if we really dive into the film, he does everything for his high school team. I talk about this all the time whenever we talk about recruiting, but if you can show me a player that excels in more than one position at the high school level, I think that's conducive to success in terms of them being able to make a successful transition from high school to college. Nothing is guaranteed, but it just shows a greater understanding of the game of football and what it takes to be successful at various different positions. And Wardell Mack is an individual who is incredibly successful at multiple different positions. However, he looks to translate to the next level as a defensive back, and he looks to be a very talented one. Wardell Mack comes in for the 24/7 Sports Composite as the number 129 player in the nation, the number 12 cornerback, and a top 5 player in the state of Louisiana, a state always absolutely loaded with future NFL players. That state is wild in how much talent is there every single cycle, and the Texas Longhorns just got a good one. He stands 5'11", 170 pounds, and like I alluded to in the intro, not only did Sark go into the state of Louisiana, get a big-time win, which is great. With Texas transitioning to the SEC, they are going to have to really double down in some of these SEC recruiting grounds. Georgia, Florida, Louisiana, Alabama. And the Texas Longhorns do a phenomenal job of recruiting anyways. I mean, you look at their national success, it is very impressive. They have assembled a staff that's able to garner these recruits' attention and then be able to capitalize on it. But these SEC states, you already know they're going to want to have another base camp built in all of them because that's just the way college football goes. So the fact that you were able to go into the state of Louisiana and get a big-time win like this, that's fantastic. But it gets even sweeter when you flip Wardell Mack from Florida to the Texas Longhorns. And one of the things I've talked about on live streams several times is that there is going to be a team this year in recruiting that is last year's Notre Dame. And what do I mean when I say that? Well, if we look at Notre Dame last year, they jumped ahead of everyone real early in the 2023 cycle. They had a full class while everybody else was still trying to get to the halfway point in their class. However, as time continued to go on, we saw a wave of decommitments from that Notre Dame class. In fact, Dylan Edwards, the Colorado running back, was a one-time Notre Dame commit. If we look, Keon Keeley, the number 2 player in the class of 2023, 5-star edge, was a one-time Notre Dame commit, ended up at Alabama. And then you have Peyton Bowen, committed to Notre Dame, ends up at Oklahoma. Just to paint the picture that there was a team out there dominating recruiting, but we kept sitting and waiting, wondering what will the team be to have the wave of decommitments. It was Notre Dame. I've wondered this year, who will that team be? What will be the team that has a ton of commitments, that's sitting real pretty, that will experience a wave of decommitments? And in fairness, Josh Newberg of On3 Sports even took it a step further when he stated that on average, there are usually 600 decommitments per recruiting cycle. As of the time when he made the tweet, there was only around 200. So his question was, will we see 400 decommitments between when he tweeted and National Signing Day? I don't know that we'll see that many, but I think that the basic theory of his tweet stands true. that we're going to see a wave of decommitments, and I'm still wondering what team is going to be the most affected by it. But keep your eyes on the Florida Gators, because Texas just gets a massive flip from Florida, and I don't think teams are done poaching that Florida Gators recruiting class. In fact, we need to keep an eye on a defensive lineman currently in that class as Georgia is chipping away at them. So this is something we're going to have to watch. As Texas gets a big win, this is a big loss for the Florida Gators, and Florida's season has not gone at all in the manner they expected, and because of that, we have got to watch going forward what happens. Can't wait to hear from all of you. Hop down to the comments. Before we get out of here, we need to address the situation of what does this mean for Texas's recruiting class? Well, Texas's recruiting class is sitting real pretty. They now have the number 9 ranked recruiting class in the nation with 20 individuals in it, meaning you're a top 10 class with plenty of room to go. You still have breathing room to be able to add in some very talented guys, and Texas is still chipping away at some top 100, 150, and even top 50 players in the nation. It's going to be really exciting to see where Steve Sarkisian has this class ending out. I can't wait to see it, but more importantly, I can't wait to hear from all of you. Hop down to the comments, let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See ya.